Hello and welcome back to the Harvey Bell YouTube channel. Just a few days now away from the start of the new Premier League season. It's come around so quickly. Today we have a very special video for you. We're joined by a Sunderland fan to talk to us about the new season. Obviously Sunderland staying up last season and just a general view ahead of kickoff at Portman Road this Saturday. His name is Wayne Doran from Only Fools and SAFC podcast. We'll get into the chat with him in a moment, but just to say thank you for 2,000 subscribers. It was a milestone I hope to hit at the start of the summer, and you've really massively helped me out by helping me get there. I really appreciate it and just wanted to say thank you. So as we go through this video with Wayne, please do leave a like, get involved in the comment section, and let's start the journey to 3,000 subscribers. But anyway, I started by asking Wayne about the journey that Sunderland have been on. Right, okay, Wayne, where to start other than the fact that I think we both need to give ourselves a pat on the back, really, because 4 seasons ago, this was a League One fixture. And now we're sitting here on the dawn of a Premier League season with both Ipswich Town and Sunderland back in the Premier League. It's been quite a journey, hasn't it?
It's unreal. Absolutely unreal, Harvey. I mean, like you say, from the likes of Accrington, Stanley and Morecambe and all them type of places to be now being back in the Premier League, it's been a dream. Last season for us was unreal. You know, stuff of fantasy, really. Couldn't believe it, how well we done, the money that we spent in the summer, and then obviously that kind of paid off and we got European football. But just to come, like you say, 4 years ago, like some of the players that we had and who we were linked with, to now be paying 20-30 million pound for players is I still think I'm in a dream.
Well, you and me both, because, you know, Ipswich Town fans share a similar mindset to that. Last season, you were widely tipped to go down, coming straight up from the Championship through the playoffs, but you went and got Europe instead. So absolutely fair play to you for that. How did you do it, and how can Ipswich do it this season?
I think you've already done it. The money you've spent in the summer, I think that's what you have to do. I think we never thought we'd spend that kind of money. To spend 150 odd million pound, we thought we might get a couple of loan signs, a few experience-free transfers and hope for the best. But to the owner's credit, we had a right good go. I mean, to be fair, the players that we did sign were quite a few unknown players that we hadn't really heard of, apart from, of course, Granit Xhaka was when he came. We're like, well, hang on a minute. So that's a bit interesting. Granit Xhaka signing of a son, and he's players that you would never ever think of signing for us. So that's what you have to do. We've saw in recent times of the clubs that have come up and they've gone straight back down. So just to book the trend and have a right good go, it could have backfired massively. Of course it could, but I think we've kind of set the tone now for promoted sides that you have to invest and have to spend the money. So that's it. We got our business done early as well. We made some signings early, which I think you've done as well. Get them in the door, get them bedded in, and then when the first game comes, they're ready for it to start and ready for it to hit the ground running. So I think that's the blueprint now for promoted sides. If they've got the money, they have to go and spend it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though, because a lot of the teams do have the money, but it's not necessarily worked out for other teams who have splashed the cash. What do you think it is in particular about the players that Sunderland bought, and in terms of your transfer approach that led to such success?
I think it's just the research. I think we've got a good scouting network. We've got a good team behind the scenes. We had Stuart Harvey there, and then all of a sudden we then got Florent Gasolfi, who then he's got good contacts in Europe. These players had all been hot prospects in Europe. A lot of teams were after them, so you kind of have obviously you can't say for certain they're going to come in and do well, but you've got a decent level of optimism that they're going to come in and do well in the Premier League, and that's kind of what happened there. We just felt lucky where every one of them kind of come in and contributed, and like Noah Sadiki, Granit Xhaka, Nordi Mukiele, Alderete, Brian Brobby, they all come in and all played well and all performed, and that was kind of how we were successful. It was just mad how quick the team gelled and how they all got together and kind of just hit the ground running. I think that first result against West Ham set the tone for the whole season, and we just went from strength to strength after that.
Yeah, I mean, it's dream scenario. I wonder how you're feeling going into this season now, because obviously Europe to look forward to. Does that make you worry a little bit for the league in terms of having to balance that, or are you confident that you can do it?
No, I'm obviously we saw what happened with Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest, and Aston Villa had a bad start last season. We know this competition is winnable, of course, the Europa League, but we've only made one summer signing, which is complete chalk and cheese to where we were last season. So we've only got one signing free transfer, Thomas Mounier, who's now injured. So we're now
that's not
we're
good.
starting the season with the team that finished last season. So I mean, that team finished seventh and that squad finished seventh. So of course we're not that worried. But the lack of signings and all the extra games we've got to play, that's got me a little bit on edge. I'd like to see us get another 4 or 5 players through the door before the deadline shuts and have a bigger squad and a better squad that's going to cope with all the games this season. So, and also you've got the second season syndrome and all, which could happen. So I'm a little bit on edge. I'm not overly worried, but I'm a bit nervous.
I've got to say, when I saw you sign Thomas Meunier, I thought that was a good sign. In ex-PSG, is he Belgian international? Isn't he? Played at a couple of World Cups, so decent pedigree. But like you say, I understand from a fan's point of view, you want more to come through the door. I have to be honest with you here, Wayne. Is looking at Saturday, if I had to pick an opposition to play, and this is no discredit to Sunderland, it probably would have been somebody like Sunderland, because I didn't want Hull or Coventry, because there's enormous pressure on that to win early on. I didn't want an Arsenal or Man City, someone like that, because it's virtually unwinnable in the first game of the season. So that left me looking at the likes of yourselves, Fulham, Crystal Palace, as a game that's winnable, but would also still be seen as a massive celebration if we were to win it. Where are you at in terms of this game? Are you wanting to come to Ipswich away first game of the season?
Well, like I said on your channel, I was looking forward to coming to Ipswich. When I saw the fix, I thought that's a good game for us. A newly promoted side, they'll not spend that much money. And however, when I've done a bit of research and seeing you've spent like similar to what we've spent last season, I'm now a worried man coming there at the weekend. I thought for you as newly promoted, the adrenaline, the atmosphere is going to be fantastic as well. Everybody up for it, so it's going to be a really, really difficult game for us at the weekend, and I'll be happy to get out there with a point. But it's going to be a really tough one for us, first game of the season. So, I'm not too sure I would have wanted first game, because obviously you want to be at home your first game, which is what you've got. So, fair play to you. We'll have to wait and see how the game pans out. But it's I'm a worried Sunderland fan sitting here.
Any idea in terms of numbers of how many Sunderland fans are going to come? I know you've always travelled well, but any idea?
I'm not too sure how many tickets we've getting. Actually, not only about 2,000-3,000 we're normally getting it, so I'm not too sure how many we've got. But I know it's sold out, so there'll be a packed away end, as there always is wherever we're going.
And I got to ask as well, because you asked me about him on your channel, but I'd written down to talk about him here. What sort of reception can Jack Clarke expect? Did he leave on good terms?
He did. I think he got a really good reception. I think obviously when he went there, we were kind of surprised that he went to the Premier League. We didn't think he was ready for the Premier League. So, but fair play to him. I think his agent had a lot to do with the transfer. So he'll get a good reception. I think he left. I've got no qualms against Jack Clarke. I mean, we were in the Championship. He went to better himself in the Premier League, which you kind of blame any player for doing. He served his time with us. He did really, really well for us, and that's why Premier League teams look at him. So fair play to him. I wish him all the best, but just not on Saturday.
Yeah, well, we've got lots of Premier League predictions to run through. That's a video that's going to be coming out in a couple of days. But I've got to ask you about the big one, because it's the one that affects us two most. It's the one that affects our clubs the most. Ipswich Town versus Sunderland on Saturday. What's your score prediction?
I'll be happy, like I said earlier, if we can get away from there with a draw. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. That'll do me just fine to start the season, settle the nerves, and get us a point on the board ready for our first home game next week. So 1-1 for me, Harvey.
Everybody fully behind Reggie the Bris as well, are they? Because obviously a good season last season, but is he seen as a real good figure at Sunderland?
100% for what he's done. Like I say, from getting us from the Championship through the Championship and getting us into the Premier League, he's done amazing. Really has done amazing. He's like He reminds me of Arsene Wenger. He's that type of player. He doesn't get really agitated. He just stands there. He's calm, collected, and he studies the game. So I love him. We all love him up here. So, he's a get a statue for him.
Okay then, hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight into Saturday's Portman Road opponent, Sunderland. Massive thanks to Wayne Doran from Only Fools and SAFC for joining us on this episode of the Harvey Bell YouTube channel, I guess. And we'll be back in a couple of days with Wayne again, because he's going to join me for my Premier League predictions for match week 1. That's something that I'm probably planning on doing throughout the course of the season, having opposition fans on and then going through my Premier League predictions for that game week with them. If that's something you're interested in, let me know down in the comments section. If you have another idea for how you would like me to cover Ipswich Town throughout this season, then do let me know, but that's kind of what I'm working with at the moment. So hopefully you enjoyed this style of video. If you have, leave a like, get involved in the comments section, and subscribe if you're new. But otherwise, I'll say thank you very much for watching, and keep on keeping on.